subscribe, like, comment, and hit the notification bell.
Hi friends, how are y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Brandy and this is my May in review video. Every month I like to wrap up the previous month, let you know like how I did on my weight loss and fitness goals, what I may be changing for the next month, and so on and so forth. And today is June 4th, so I'll be wrapping up May. I document everything in this fitness planner. My husband got it for me for Christmas. It's also a meal planner. And I just track, everything's tracked on my Garmin watch, and then I put it in here throughout the month because I do like seeing it, collating it, all the great things to give the data to. And I will say I have a lot to say today, and I hope it doesn't come across too jumbled because I did screen records a couple days ago, because that's the thing about the Garmin is when I look at, like, I can't tell it to like show me May. I have to say the last 4 weeks, and whatever day you look at it, that's what shows you. So I had to record it like on June 1st so I could get the screen record for the actual month of May. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. That's kind of annoying about the Garmin watch, which I'm looking to switch to an Apple. I just need to go. I haven't decided if I want one that's 40 millimeters or 42 millimeters. And I need to go try them on because I don't like really big watches. And I'm scared the 42 may be too big, but I really want that one because that's the Series 10. So anyhow, but let's briefly go over what every month I have 4 primary goals and then 6 like sub goals or sub areas of focus. Those are not primary focus. Like I said, there's 4 main ones. And for the month of May, they change slightly month to month, but for the most part, they're usually typically really similar. Top 4 goals was an average weekly step count of over 8,000 K. The second goal was an average weekly calorie goal of less than 1,800. The third goal was greater than 180 active minutes per week. And the way the Garmin assigns active minutes is if I'm just walking for 10 or 20 minutes, that doesn't do it. My heart rate has to be at a certain threshold for 10 consecutive minutes, that threshold or higher for 10 consecutive minutes, and then it starts tracking. Like my husband's watch, he has a Samsung, and he gets active minutes anytime he's walking throughout the day. Mine is not like that, and 180 minutes equates to the 30 minutes a day, which is the heart recommendation for you. So that's where 180 comes from for me. And then my last goal is to walk my dogs 3 times a week, which this helps with my active goals that we like get going. And it also helps with my step goal as well. Plus it gets them out of the house, which, you know, they love. We just got back from a walk and they're like sleeping on the floors beside me. But yeah, so let's talk about the goals one by one. And just to recap a little on April, at the end of April, April 21st, my husband and I were out of town in Las Vegas, and sadly at the tail end of that trip, let me get the date for you. On the 24th, I started feeling really sick, and that month, April, we ended on the 27th. So my May month will start with April 28th, just because I'll do that whole full week, if that makes sense as well. You know, months don't end Monday through Sunday, but that's how I do it. So that's how I do it for tracking purposes. So yeah, so when I came back on April 28th, I was still very ill. So all that week, I was not moving very much. I was at home, resting a lot, working from home. And then I think Friday, I finally went to the doctor on the 2nd, and they said I had pneumonia and I got a steroid shot and all that. So needless to say, on all these stats, the first week, and there's 5 weeks I'm tracking in May, the first week I am not gonna do very well. So the first week, my step average was 3,273. Yay, me. I'm telling you, I did not feel good at all. So that second week, my step average was 6,433. I was feeling slightly better, still not great, but I was able to get out of the house and get the dog walks twice. So I did not work out, but that did get me at least some steps. The third week, feeling better, no excuses, and my average was 7,023. And I will say around 7,000 is where I hang out naturally when I'm not feeling ill. So it's kind of frustrating to me that I can't bump it up just a little to get 8,000. Like if I'm gonna set it a goal, and I felt like this in April too, I set it as a goal and you're so close, it wouldn't take that much effort, but yet I didn't do it that week. And you'll see, I didn't do it the next two either. But the fourth week in May, my average was 7,973 steps. Very, very close, but didn't do it. And then the last week, which ended on June 1st, was 7,439. So I'm frustrated at myself that the first 2 weeks, okay, I give myself grace, I wasn't feeling well and that sort of things. The last 3 weeks, there's absolutely no excuse for me why I couldn't get 8,000 when I'm already naturally so close. I think it's just the stage of my life and I'm in, and the frustration is kicked in. To the extent I'm like, why am I still doing this channel about my weight loss goals and being healthier and whatnot, and I don't feel like I'm progressing to the level I should and once did, that it gets irritating to me. And I don't want to be the type of person that's like, if it's not working, just to quit. You know, if it's not working, you just got to try harder or do something different. But I digress. So, did not make that step goal. Womp womp. So the second goal, the less than 1,800 weekly calories. This one was easy to like go back and track now that Weight Watchers shows calories. So I was appreciative of that. And I'm happy to say the first week my calories was 1,638. However, I did not track one day. When I didn't track, what I did is take the average of just the days I did track. So that could skew the data, mind you. And I didn't do the best at tracking this month. Every week I'll tell you how many days I didn't track. So that day I did not track one day, and again, 1,638 calories, well below the 1,800. I was so sick that I didn't really have an appetite, so yay me, that helped, especially since I was barely moving, so thank goodness I wasn't hungry. And then week 2, it was again very similar, 1,642 average calories per day. And again, I didn't track one day there, so very similar. Week 3, I did even better at 1,617 calories, and I tracked all 5 days, so I was doing great. I just think I didn't have much of an appetite, to be honest. And the meals I was making was like bulk, low-calorie meals, so love that for us. And then week 4, I had, again, 1,642 calories on average. However, I did not track 3 days, and that is because my family came into town, and when I'm doing stuff like that, I'm mindful eating, but I'm not going to sit there and worry about nitpicking that when I have company. It's just, I'm not there in my life. So, again, probably may have been over if I took the calories of the days we were out, but overall I did good. I didn't really drink too much. When we did eat out, we shared. Sometimes they ate out and got food delivered, like even my husband, and I didn't. I just ate at home. Week 5, I ate, on average, I had 1,614 calories, and I only didn't track 2 days, and that was again at the beginning of the week when the company was still in town. So overall, with my calories, I did really, really well. I felt like every week was less than 1,800. However, I do acknowledge that I'm missing some days of tracking, so, you know, I could be higher, but it was never that, oh, let's say I went and ate nachos one day and that's the day I didn't track. I didn't do that, I promise. My third goal was to have 180 active minutes. Spoiler alert, week 1 I had 0 again. I was in bed, not feeling great. Week 2, I got 30 active minutes, and that was just from walking my dogs on the leisurely walks, so that was nice. I will say, I remember those walks. Usually when I go short walks, I don't get any active minutes, but my heart rate was so elevated from the pneumonia that I got active minutes, so it's kind of a win there for me. Week 3, I met my goal, and I had 234 active minutes. This was fabulous, and this was a eye-opening week because it was the first week I was feeling good, and historically I work out my tonal and I do heavy lift sessions, and usually they're pretty long, and I have to do them long in order to get my active minutes. because if, like I said, if my heart rate doesn't get up, I don't get them. But I knew coming off having pneumonia and being so sick that I could not go back into my program 12 weeks to Jacked, where the programs were like hour-long, 4 days a week, or maybe only 3 days a week, I can't remember. And just lifting like super heavy, 10 and 15,000 pounds on each lift. I knew my body couldn't do it. So that week I just did one-off workouts, and I looked for like 20 to 30 minute workouts that were more like HIIT style but didn't look too difficult. And I was shocked. I did a 21 minute HIIT workout on the Monday, and I got 63 active minutes. I didn't take my dogs for a walk that day. But yeah, 63 active minutes for working out 20 minutes. I could not believe how high my heart rate got in such a short amount of time. That to me felt like efficiency. Like, I'm not someone that loves to work out, mainly because I don't like spending the time on it. Yeah, I'm very big into productivity during the time, and it's just a mental thing with me. So that workout made me realize that, hey, I could get behind these shorter HIIT workouts. So that's what I did the rest of that week, and I got 234 active minutes from very short workouts and walking the dogs. Isn't that fabulous? In week 4, I decided to do the same thing, focus on those HIIT workouts again, and I got 329 active minutes. But that is because we did really well when my company was in town of staying active. Typically, we'd just like eat and drink and chat. No, we did activities. We went skeet shooting one night, and glow-in-the-dark skeet shooting, very fun in Waxahachie. I had bruises all right here from the gun, and then right here as well for me injecting the gun, because they didn't have any left-handed guns, so I couldn't maneuver with my left hand the gun unless I put it on my tummy. So I don't know, I came home bruised and battered, but it was a blast. And then we also, what else did we do? Oh, the next day we went and played pickleball for the first time. I'm in love with pickleball. But I burned like a crazy amount of active minutes, like 150 or so, just playing pickleball, and it did not feel that strenuous. I loved it. And then the last thing we went and played putt-putt golf. So we had a very active weekend, so that helped me get my 329 active points. And then the last week, I had 195 active minutes, which was great. And this is the week I decided to unenroll in my 12 weeks to Jacked, and I enrolled in a 2-week HIIT program, which I'm still loving. In and out, get it done. And my last goal was walking the dogs 3 times a week. The first week they didn't get any dogs. Like, I sound like a broken record, but I was sick. Week 2, they got 2 short walks. I was just trying to get back in it later in the week. Week 3, they got all 3 walks. Week 4, I could have swore they got 3 walks, but I only have 2 walks down, and I didn't see anything on my watch or in my other planner. So I don't know. So I tracked 2, but my gut tells me that they really did get 3. Okay. And then the last week they got 3 walks. So I didn't do the best there, not the worst there. So overall, I'm very happy with what I did, but there is a few things about this that I wanted to talk about and summarize over the bigger picture. And that is, when I went back and really looked at my active minutes, not in a month, but, well, yeah, when I went back and compared my activity from May to April, they were very similar, which wasn't shocking because I was sick a little bit of April and I was sick a little bit of May. But what was shocking to me is when I went back previous months, when I thought I was going so hard, they weren't that different, which that did shock me. However, when I started looking at it like in the year perspective, the averages of current year, which I know we're only 6 months in this year, so it took 6 months of 2024 in this 6 months, they're more comparable to when I was losing weight actively in 2022. So I'm getting back to the activity level I was when I had success, so that was great to see. And another thing that kind of stood out to me was with my calories. Yeah, so if I look at my calories from the last year, again, it's from June of 24 to now. My average is like 2,028 and my resting 1,665. And the year before that, the average was 1941, resting 1611. If I go back before that, the average was 1905, resting 1589. And then back to June 2021 to June 2022, which is when I had my most success and lost 40 pounds to get down to 135. My average was 2,093, resting 1689. So what I'm trying to say is my calories in this last year and activity minutes are more similar to my first year of actively trying to lose weight, the June 2021 to June 2022, when I was successfully losing weight. So I don't know what's changed. And the years I was like on maintenance or not as actively trying to lose weight, they weren't substantially different, which I was surprised. So I don't know what that tells me. Maybe I'm not putting in as much effort as I think I am, but I'm always putting in some effort. Even when I was on maintenance or last year when I tried to lose, but I wasn't really tracking very much or doing great tracking. I don't know. It's just an interesting point that I found. Let's get started on my sub goals. Health and fitness, I just said lift on total, and I did lift 30,319 pounds, which this is substantially different than previous months. Like last month, even in April when it was a bad month, but I did like half of a heavy lift program, I was up to 78,000 pounds. The month before, I think it was like 125,000, 165,000. So that's what I'm shocked about, is like not even lifting heavy. My caloric and my active minutes are like the same. Is that not shocking to y'all? But anyhow, still using it because even my HIIT workouts, they're from a coach on my tongue. Okay, self-care, I said I was getting a massage. That did not happen, but I think I'm gonna make it happen this week while I'm off work. I think I'll make that appointment today. I gotta find somewhere near me. Fun and recreation, 2 activities. I definitely did that. I just named 3 of them to you all, so that was a win for me for sure. I enjoyed having my brother and Geraldine up. That was fun. Body image, weigh every day. Let's talk about this. I did not. I don't even know how many times I did it. Let me look. I don't know. I just didn't do it. There's no excuse. Okay, so in the month of May, I weighed 12 times. And that's way more than I thought I did, actually. And some days I would step on the scale and be like, okay, yeah, because it's very similar to what it had been. And I just didn't record it. There was no reason either. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't not intentional. I just didn't do it. I think in my mind, I was like, it's so similar that it wasn't worth recording it because it's not going to change the average. But I want to get back to weighing every day, which I haven't because I missed the first 3 days of June, but I did weigh in today. So if we just look at what I weighed June 1 to today, June 4th, that day I weighed 155.9, May 1st. June 4th, I weighed 155. So about a pound down, which is not great, but whatever. Hey, excuse you. But there was a day in May, 2 days in May, where I weighed 154.7 and 154.9. So love those days. That was coming off being sick, so maybe I was a little dehydrated. Who knows? Ooh, there's another 154.8. Huh. Okay, there's definitely a loss this year because January 6th I was 159.1. So I'm like 4 pounds. 4 pounds in 5 months. You gotta take what you can get, right? Anyhow. Personal development, relax more. I do think I did that a little bit. There was a couple weekends where me and my husband, we just totally had an off day. I did minimal chores. The most perfect day was this past Sunday. It was just fabulous. I got up and did some chores. No hiccups, enjoyed them. I don't even know. I washed my dogs. I tended to my garden. I took them for a walk. I worked out. I picked up my grocery order. All of that was before 2 o'clock, right? So then I showered, and then I just was like, you know what, I'm really tired. So I sat in bed, watched some videos, hung out by myself. My husband left to go out of town. He was out that day. That's not why I enjoyed it, but he was out. I sat in my room for like 2 hours, and then I got up, and I couldn't even tell you what else I did. Probably plan, something like that. But it was lovely. I liked that productivity, and then it felt like I had a big stretch of day just to enjoy myself. And I ended up going to bed like at 9:30 because I went to work really early on Monday so I could get off early. But those days of productivity and relaxation are perfection for me. And the last thing is junk journal, and I have not junk journaled anymore. I really, really want to, but my holdup is not, it's doing it is difficult, is I like to put photos. And I'm having a hard time printing photos off my printer because I put the printer in there and it like goes around the photo paper like really, really close. And then when I send it, it's like it doesn't register, even though I say, oh, it's a 4x6 paper in there. It doesn't know that the printer puts it in the middle rather than just putting it to one side. So it doesn't print right. So I need to figure that out. And I've had this printer for a long time and I've never been able to figure it out. The only way around it is I had to put a big photo sheet in there and just let it print wherever it wants to print, which is not a good use of money. Oh, I put this away like we're done. I want to be done. Just because I want to go do something else. Not that I don't love y'all. Okay, there are some writing prompts for your month in review. Some months I go into detail with them. This time I did not. What were your biggest wins? I said learning, I like HIIT, and to me that is a win because not every workout has to be over an hour or an hour to get the most benefits. So huge win for me. How do I feel about my progress? Hey, I'm looking at it like I'm just happy that there was no backslide after being sick for so long. So that's a win for me. And about my progress. Which areas of your life were lacking? I said none. I feel like I pretty much had a good month after getting over being sick. So nothing I could think of there. How will I improve next month? All goals, all month, no excuses. And that's my 4 primary goals. Let's go measure.
So I am going to try to talk through the measurements
because that way I'll have less to edit. So kind of selfish of me.
just a shad shy of 13 inches. So I think that's kind of where I've been. So yeah, my neck was exactly what it was the last 2 times, but about a 1/4 inch less than when I started in January, which is good. I wouldn't expect to lose a ton off my neck. My chest is at 36 and I would say a 1/4. That is 1/2 inch less than I have last month. Time to do the guns. Just kidding. I kind of struggle doing this one by myself. I'm gonna go with same 12. When I say the same, I mean same as previously. I wish my arms would lose weight. It's one of my least favorite parts of my body. Has been for many, many, many years. Yeah, I have a rip. The tape measure is finally getting a rip. I mean, it's like 5 years old, so it's causing me some technical difficulties today. Okay, just as expected, 12 on that one as well. No change. Kind of sad. And I measure at my narrowest part. 31, same as last month. Okay, now I'm at the top of my hips, kind of above my pooch, and I'm at 35.5, which is the same as last month. Let's skip to the booty. 41. Same, oh, up a point or 1 inch from last month. I waver between 40 and 41 on my booty. Okay, I may call that 14.8 and 15. Let's just call them both 15. Oh, I forgot the thigh. Totally forgot the thigh. I'm gonna go with 22 and a half. 22 and a half. Up 1/2 inch from last month.
So overall, I was pretty happy with how May went, especially seeing as we had company for 5 days and I didn't go off the rails and lose any weight there, stuck to my workout. I was sick. So overall, I had a good month in May. I'm hoping June is just as good. No real big plans in June. I'm a little disappointed my measurements didn't change, but I'm happy with like the 1 pound weight loss. In June, I am keeping all my goals, 3 of my goals the same: 180 active minutes, walk the dogs 3 days a week, which will be difficult because it's getting summer and it'll get too hot. So that means my butt has to get up in the morning and walk them before work. 8,000 step average, and then I lessened my calories to 1,700 calories per week. Just trying to, you know, enhance the weight loss. Okay, the smaller goals, I said I'm still going to get a massage, 2 social activities. I'm going to weigh, and this time I said at least 15 times. Stress less, and then I'm going to actually scrapbook rather than junk journal because I have some scrapbook I need to finish, and since I'm off work this week, that's what I plan to do. And health and fitness, I want to do at least 12 lift sessions. Okay, friends, that is it. Let me know, what are you working on? Are y'all feeling the burnout like I am with the weight loss? Are you having success? Are you not having success? Are you just counting points, counting calories? What you doing? Let me know. Bye. Now it's time to put in the work.